that have felt the impact of climate change. And we may be the last one, or we may be the only generation that can do something about it. A very good morning to one and all present here. Today, I, Shaurajan, along with my teammates Asif, Dayananda, and Pratyush, we are going to give a presentation on climate change. Before we move any further, we need to first understand what climate is. Climate is generally composed of 5 components, namely humidity, wind, pressure, cloud cover, and finally radiation. We will be explaining these 5 components one by one, starting with humidity. Asif.
So humidity is the amount of water vapor present in our atmosphere. So the basic rule is higher the humidity, the warmer the environment is. So you must have seen in coastal areas where there is large water bodies that the area there is warmer because of the humidity. Low humidity, same thing. Low humidity can make the air feel cooler. So like in hill stations, there is a lot less humidity there. So that's why they are really cool.
Next we have wind.
The movement of wind refers to the movement of air on the Earth's surface. It's like the moving air particles we call wind. So the direction and speed of wind has a great significant and impact on climate change.
Next we have pressure.
Atmospheric pressure. Why is atmospheric pressure important? Well, atmospheric pressure basically means the weight of air that is above a particular point in our Earth's surface. When the weight is high, the wind also weighs high. So it settles down, and which creates a calm and clear weather. But when the pressure is low, the wind is also low in weight, then it will rise slowly, creating a cloudy and windy condition. Also can result into rain.
Next is cloud cover. Cloud cover is just a combination of the previous 3 factors that we have read. Clouds are made up of water vapors and ice, that means humidity. These water vapors and crystals of ice are floating in the air with the help of wind, and finally they are at a higher altitude, meaning there is low pressure above, meaning all these 3 components combine together to form clouds. So cloud cover is the amount of clouds that are present in the atmosphere. So more clouds can lead to both cold as well as hot. If you have seen, if there are clouds, it becomes shady. So the temperature decreases as there is less amount of radiation or less amount of sunlight. Whereas if you would have seen at cloudy nights, it gets usually warmer because the heat that was earlier sent by in the form of sun rays, it gets trapped because of these clouds. Next, we have radiation.
Radiation is the energy emitted by the sun and other sources that heats up the Earth's atmosphere. So when Earth's sun rays comes into our atmosphere and it stays there, it's trapped. The radiation will increase, which will make the temperature higher.
So what is climate change? Climate change is the change in our climate it's going to be for a very long-lasting change, which occur in a very long-lasting way, and it has a lot of there are lots of things which causes climate change. It may be natural or artificial. There is human activities that can change. The main factor that causes climate change is caused by greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide. How it causes is like this: the sunlight, the heat from sun is going to be trapped on Earth's surface by these greenhouse gases, and it's going to increase the temperature of our planet, and hence causing climate change.
So the rest of the PPT is divided into 3 parts. We will be telling what climate change actually is, what are the causes of climate change, and finally what are the impacts of climate change. So what is climate change? We have understood what climate is. So what happens, what is climate change is when these factors which we have earlier talked about, humidity, wind, pressure, cloud cover and radiation, For climate change to occur, these factors need to change over a long period of time. That time is generally from around 10 years to about 100 years. But nowadays, what is happening is due to human intervention, these changes are taking place at a much faster rate, and these are occurring within 3 to 4 years, which is very rapid as compared to normal change and can impact the environment drastically.
So the causes of climate change. Climate change is caused by mostly greenhouse gases, and some of them are methane. So methane is a greenhouse gas which is reduced by transportation of coal and petroleum, and it is also generated by organic waste. So methane is highly flammable, and it causes a lot of. So it is a part of greenhouse gases. Next is carbon dioxide. This is the most important greenhouse gas. CO2 is emitted by burning of fossil fuels and petroleum. So and the next is nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is a byproduct of nitric acid, and this is mainly used in fertilizers, and this also generates a lot of. It traps a lot of heat. So let's take an example. In an ideal world where sunlight gets in the earth atmosphere and it bounces back to space. But since there's a lot of greenhouse gases, so the sunlight here is trapped, therefore making the environment hotter.
What are the impacts of climate change? Now we have understood what climate change is, how it is caused. What are some of the impacts? Firstly, that Asim said, is increase in the temperature. So increase in temperature generally results in higher surface temperatures, which can cause droughts and even cause precipitation changes. Just as we talk precipitation, because of climate change, the precipitation becomes, or the rain becomes unnatural, or you can say be-mausam barish in Hindi you can call it. So what happens is these rain are occurring without the season. When it should not happen, the rain is occurring. Due to this, a flood can be caused in some areas, whereas in other places droughts can occur, which could lead to harmful impact on the environment. Next, we have melting of the icebergs and glaciers. These are melting because of the increased temperature we talked about earlier. Due to these, the low-lying areas in the coastal region get submerged under the water. That results in destruction of not only the environment but also the human civilization that have been there. Next, we have biodiversity damage. So what happens is a species is generally adapted to a particular ecosystem or particular environment that it is living in. But with these sudden changes, these animals are not able to adapt to those changes, and they eventually just die out. Next, we have human health. Humans are notoriously known to be very resilient against climate change, as they can always make an inventions or make certain changes in their environment themselves that can help them adapt to those changes. But these changes may not live long enough, or these changes can one point bottleneck, and humans can be affected a lot in the form of increased cancer due to the UV rays from the sun, or maybe asthma due to air pollution, or maybe diarrhea or other causes, other illnesses that can be caused due to water contamination.
Solution. So, is there a solution? Well, me and my teammates here think that there is a solution to every problem. But here there are solutions. There are many solutions to this problem. Some of them are listed out here. Like, first would be reduce energy emissions. Well, energy, we all have sometimes in our life wasted energy. Like, forgot to switch off the heaters, forgot to switch off the lights and fans. Well, if it is done by one person, then it is considered to be a no harm. But if it is done by a whole civilization, then it brings up a drastic change. So we have to take drastic measures in that sense, and we have to reduce energy consumption. Sorry. Well, industries also have to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, because they are the ones which are mostly responsible for our environmental change. They are the ones which are emitting most of the CO2 in our environment. Reduce meat consumption. Meat has the largest carbon footprint among all food resources. So if we reduce our meat consumption, we might bring out a major change. Choose public transport over private transport. If 30 of us sitting here choose cars as a means of transport, then it will create a really high carbon emission. But if we all come in a bus, then it will bring out a major change. Reduce water emissions, just like water consumption, just like energy consumption. Water consumption is also something that we have wasted in our life. But if we also take measures on this, then we might bring out a change. Save natural resources. We have created a major damage in our environment by deforestation, flooding, etc. Not flooding, damaging water resources. This creates a major ripple effect in our environment and reduces the cleaning process. Use renewable energy. If we replace coal, petroleum, and other crude oil or perishable resources with renewable energy resources like wind energy, solar energy, then we can bring out major changes and we can save our environment before it deteriorates.